All right, here with Lucy Lee after a 4 under day after this first round, after successfully Monday qualifying on Monday. Just take me through what was working well today.
Yeah, I just hit it well and putted well the whole day, which was, obviously really nice. I kind of have to do that on this course. Yeah, just stuck to my game plan. Kind of did very similar to how I did in the Monday qualifier, so that was nice.
Yeah, getting a whole extra round in, having to get into the field. But what do you take away from that experience of kind of getting a competitive round in before even the week's technically started?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, I would prefer not to have Monday, but it was good to get some experience, especially on these greens. Some of the putts can be really, really tricky. And, having experienced that in the Monday, I had a better idea of the speed of the greens today, which I think was pretty helpful.
Taking a look at your round in general, your front nine, 3 birdies in your front 9 holes, what was working well in the beginning of that round?
I mean, I just hit it good and made some putts. Same thing, back nine, I was doing the same thing. Didn't get the last one to fall, but, as long as you put a good stroke on it, there's all you can do.
What was it like rebounding from the bogey on 14 heading into 15?
Yeah, I kind of just had to move on from it. It's unfortunate because that's, definitely a gettable hole, but I hit 2 great shots into the green. My second shot just barely trickled down, and I ended up having a really, really grainy lie. And so I don't know if I made the right call there on the shot, but, it was a tricky shot, so I just had to kind of move on from it, take my bogey, and then, get on.
Every time you're in the field, Lucy, I feel like we end up talking to you at some point because of the way that you're always able to keep yourself in contention, even at such a young age, against some of the best players in the world. How comfortable does it feel to come out again this week and kind of see what's been working and it showing on the leaderboard?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely nice to get back out here and play well again. I think the last couple tournaments I was really close, missing the cut by one shot. I think I just was a little bit mentally tired from traveling so much and having a really crazy couple of months. So being able to go home last week and not really play much. Oh, I was home for 2 weeks, but the first week I really didn't play much at all. And just having the ability to kind of reset there was really nice. And, this was kind of my last big event of the year. So, being able to play this and then have a pretty long off season will be nice.
When you are able to take more than maybe 1 week off, that rarely happens in a season, especially when you're playing on both the Epson and being able to play on the LPGA sometimes. Have you ever had that kind of break before where you're able to put the clubs down kind of in the mid-season?
Yeah, I usually try to space out my tournaments that I don't play more than 4 in a row or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I get a couple weeks off. On the Epson, we've had a couple stretches. It was nice to get 2 weeks off, but this time I was, usually I take a couple of days off and I practice, but this time I was just I'm so tired from, it's one thing to play a lot of tournaments, another thing to travel so much and just not be home for I wasn't home for almost 2.5 months or something like that. So it's just more mentally tiring than physically tiring. So that was the main thing for me, was to be able to just rest.
Speaking of mentally tiring, I feel like for a lot of players too, when you're in contention 1 week, it can be a little mentally draining when you go to the next week. But for you, we've seen you in contention week after week after week. Do you feel like you're able to compartmentalize kind of those feelings well, or you've gotten better at compartmentalizing those feelings?
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely having experience of being in contention on the Epson tour this year was huge because, kind of for a couple of years there, especially with 1 year where we didn't play much with COVID, and then last year not really being in contention, it was definitely good to get those repetitions under my belt and kind of get used to the feeling of being in contention again. So that was definitely huge. And so now I just try to treat every round the same.
All right. And with another round out there tomorrow, what will you take away from your first round here as you head into tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I played pretty solid golf. There's not much to really dwell on from today. So I think with such an early tee time tomorrow, the main thing is to, get my full night of sleep. That's the main thing.
And of course, across the country is the Epson Tour Championship. No matter what happens here this week, you have secured your status through the race for the card. What has it meant to have the support of a sponsor like Epson this past year on the Epson Tour? And what has your experience, again, this past year and your past couple of years out there on the Epson Tour really helped as you're shining in this moment now?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. It's almost invaluable, the experiences from playing on the Epson Tour. I'm a little sad that I can't be there for the ceremony this week, but I couldn't really pass up an opportunity to play in my home state, and especially on a beautiful course like Satakoy. So I'm just really, really grateful for the experience and opportunities that Epson has given me, and I'm really excited to follow along with the leaderboard next week, and I'm rooting for some of my friends to sneak in the top 10 there. So I'm really excited for them as well, and some girls who've already locked up their card. And I'm just really excited for all of us to get out here next year and show them what we're made of, I guess.
All right. Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you.